Any of the views expressed in this show do not represent the views or opinions of those participating. We are merely observers.
Please do not reenact any of the stories you hear on our show.
Being featured on our show is not something to be proud of.
And as always, please drink responsibly.
He does. Everything he's got is delicious. His face, his neck, everything. His earlobes, I just want to nibble on them. Welcome to another episode of Laughs and Drafts. Gosh, it's already this episode. My name is Jason Thomas, your resident fancy boy.
I'm Jared, your learning man.
It's Tim, the old man.
Ethan, the guy with the glasses.
And it's me now. I'm so sorry. I gave you guys such a hard time. I don't know why.
One job.
I had one job, was to not be a failure. Like
We told him before the show started, Jason, turn your phone down.
God, I yelled at you guys for having your phone on. Anyways, for those of you who have not listened to our show before, we are a podcast, which I'm sure you're aware of, that goes over strange news stories and covers a few different beers as well. We kind of dive into what makes them special, as well as why we hate Florida. Anyways, so
We got there eventually.
Yeah, I knew we'd get there. We just had to try a little harder, that's all.
Our first story is from Tallahassee.com.
Welcome to Tallahassee.
Tallahassee? No, it's Cincinnati is the one that I think of. Anyways, the headline reads, Man ripped urinal from restaurant bathroom wall, ran naked into the woods. Tallahassee police officers are searching for a man they say ripped a urinal off the wall at Miller's Ale House on Monday. Tallahassee police officers are searching for this man who ripped the urinal from the wall and streaked into the woods.
That's a real pisser.
First off, I'm going to say if some dude runs into my restaurant and rips a urinal off the wall, I'm just going to be like, you have a good day, sir. You have a good day. I hope is there anything else you need? Like, 'cause I don't want that guy who was able to rip porcelain and steel from a wall. Staff at the sports bar on Appalachia Parkway.
Appalachia? Is
Appalachia?
that Appalachia?
Appalachia.
We'll just go with that.
Appalachia.
Appalachia.
There's an Appalachia
Okay.
cola.
Staff at the sports bar on Appalachia Parkway told police the man ran from the building north through the parking lot while taking off his clothes, according to the police incident report. An employee who watched the man run away said he was completely naked when he disappeared into the wood line. His clothing was not found. Surveillance video was provided to officers. The man is wanted for criminal mischief. This is an open investigation. Anyone with information should contact investigators at 850-891-4200. Anonymously call Crime Stoppers at 850-574-TIPS. So this dude So this dude ripped a urinal off the wall.
What a beast.
Can you imagine this? Like that's got to be like, was it angel dust or PCP? Like you've got to be on that because meth is more like eat a hamburger and go to sleep, and cocaine is more like let me rearrange your pencil collection, and PCP and angel dust is more the I'm gonna rip a urinal off the wall,
Hang your spine out at the same time.
and your spine, masturbate vigorously, and disappear into the woods. I honestly, everybody always says was like, I'd love to try marijuana at least one time to see what it's like. I always think to myself, like, I would like to be like in a padded cell. Give me some PCP, and I just want to see what I'm capable of. I want to see if I rip off my own legs. It seems like a magical experience, but children don't do drugs. Children don't ever do drugs.
Man declared dead, snores to life right before his autopsy.
Oh my gosh, this is like a fear of
That's
mine.
weird.
A man in Spain who was declared dead by 3 doctors was actually still alive,
That's what Spain gets you.
which doctors discovered only when he began
Who touching my spaghetti?
Oh my god. It's my meatballs. Who touched my meatballs?
Touching my chorizo.
That's Italy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, okay. I was making sure we were clear.
No idea why my brain went to that. I really don't. It was Italy. Obviously, we said Spain, and my brain went to
Went to Italy.
Spain? Who touched my haggis?
Who touched my chorizo, or whatever they do in Spain?
That's
Sauerkraut. It's famous for
Hispanic, isn't it?
sauerkraut.
Um,
Go ahead,
doctors
Jared.
discovered only when he began snoring on the autopsy table, according to news reports. The man, 29-year-old Gonzalo Montoya Jimenez,
My name is Enrique Montoya.
was a
My
prisoner.
father.
Prepared to die.
Was a prisoner at a jail in northern Spain. He was found unconscious in his cell on Sunday, January 7th, and was believed to be dead, according to the Spanish news outlet.
That's crazy.
3 forensic doctors allegedly examined Jimenez and certified his death. But 4 hours later, right before Jimenez's autopsy, he was heard making noises on the autopsy table and was found to be still alive. This discovery was not a moment too soon. His body even had the marks painted on it to guide the autopsy, a family member said.
A family member said.
He has now regained consciousness and is in the intensive care unit at the Central University Hospital of Asturias in Oviedo, Spain. That's a lot of names here.
Which the crazy thing is people don't understand is that, when they tell you, especially when you're doing like, BLS, safety thing, when they're doing like the CPR classes, they're like, check for a pulse, check for breathing, this, that, and the other. And the reality is you can actually not feel a pulse, and there's a pulse. Like, unless you're hooked up to electronic equipment, there's some times where you can't feel a pulse.
Can't feel it.
And there's even sometimes where you can feel a pulse through your own fingers. So why you're supposed to use your two, your 1 or 2, index fingers, your pointer finger. But I mean, even with breathing can be so shallow that you don't see it or feel it or hear it or anything, which is why we go for the old mobster way of just holding a glass in front of their face. And if they're actually still breathing, then you just cut their neck and you pull their tongue out through their neck.
Play
You
with
don't
it.
talk about me.
It's like
and
a door
mine.
stopper.
Yeah.
So, going along in the article, it explains what you were basically talking about. If they are declared brain dead, or if their heart stops beating, doesn't start again, and a person is considered brain dead when he or she no longer has any neurological activity in the brain or brainstem, and meaning no electrical impulses are being sent between brain cells. Doctors perform a number of tests to determine whether someone is brain dead, such as checking the individual can initiate his or her own breath. And in recent cases, his family said that he had epilepsy, and they suspect that the condition may have played a role in the unusual circumstances of his presumed death. Some people with epilepsy can experience a condition called catalepsy, or a trance-like state. Is that how you say it? Okay. In which their muscles become rigid and they are unresponsive to stimuli. So, did you ever encounter any something like this as paramedic?
No, I've had a couple people with like doing like rigor mortis. I've had that one, which is
That?
I haven't
In my
had it.
lower
I've
half region.
I've experienced stiffness. No, actually, I had that one body we picked up that screamed at us. That I don't know if I ever told you that story.
Fat guy.
Yeah, the fat dude that had drank himself to death.
That's how I want to go.
Good times, good times.
Where everybody knows your name. No, I had that. I had grand mal seizures and just regular seizures, which is basically just always, for those listening, just roll them over to the left and just let them shake it out. Don't ever put anything into their mouth. Don't put your fingers in their mouth. Don't put wood in their mouth. Don't put nothing in their mouth. Keep their mouth open. That is something you just see in movies.
What would you say?
Would you say? Are you, sir, sitting to receive my limp penis? You know your judo well. No, that's I've never actually experienced anything like that though. Although I do know that, like I said, that people can be basically from what you can tell physically and feeling. Which I'm surprised that they had 3 doctors and they're sitting there saying that they went through all these tests and whatnot and still didn't catch it. I mean, if somebody is enough, still breathing. I mean, they're saying that, didn't initiate his own breath and stuff like that. There's a lot of tests that he had to have not passed. Somebody dropped the ball.
I'm saying somebody did
Yes,
it right.
that's crazy. I mean, that is literally like a horrific fear of mine of being. Can you imagine? Autopsies are. they spare no. They're not like delicate with you. I mean, they just
Here's the
saw
piece
you.
of meat.
Spared no
open.
expense.
We really spared no expense. Come see my park. It's just a dead man on the table with his chest open. You can dig your hands inside if you like.
Fondle my organs.
Yeah, fondle my organs.
Come, children.
How do you like
Fondle
my
my organ.
How do you like my park? I'm going to take my pants off. You tell me your reviews. No.
I call this my T-Rex.
This is my esquivel.
It eats children.
Oh my god. They said they did the
weren't sure.
test. They said
They did the
did
test.
the test.
Or they said that the way that you're presumed dead is that you're either brain dead or they don't have a pulse.
I put the spaghetti in front of him and he didn't touch the spaghetti. Someone get this really racist dude out of here. Anyways, Tim, please take us to the next story.
Well, for all you wrestler fans out there, WWE superstar Enzo Amore.
John Cena.
I got a dream. A dream, Jerry Lawler.
Oh yeah. Snap into a rest in peace.
So he's telling the state of Delaware to stick it, because there ain't a chance they're getting his penis signature. It's a penis signature scrub from his driver's license.
What? Oh, he drew a penis in his signature.
Right below his name.
Okay,
Yeah, signature.
yeah.
Oh.
It's,
Like
classy.
BMV didn't catch it. Like,
I'll tell you what, you ain't getting my penis. My penis is free. Jeez,
You'll never beat me this way. Enzo went off on his DMV beef, claiming he's been getting calls from reps demanding he changed his license ASAP due to the suggestive signature. Let's be real. It definitely looks like a dong.
I like that pause there.
Let's be real. It definitely looks like a dong. Bonesaw got you for 3 whole minutes.
With my dog.
I'm sporting a partial. You're gonna see the tip of the mountain.
You're gonna climb the mountain.
You're gonna climb the mountain. Oh yeah.
Oh man, Macho Man Randy
License
Savage.
suspended, sir.
Poor guy's dead now, but he was
Snap into a
certainly,
rest in peace.
Yes. Him and Jerry Lawler used to go at it. I'll never forget on watching Saturday morning. I've got a dream, Jerry Lawler. A dream. I'm gonna stake you and put you in the shape of a ball and bounce you out the door. Anyway,
Every one of them have repressed,
Getting
very strong repressed emotions.
Getting a view into Dad's childhood.
yeah, it's very scary. Don't let me go there too often. I'm liable to kill myself. It also says that there's no way he's going to change his John Hancock, and he's willing to go to war over it.
The guy looks like a real winner too, especially when like the picture you show is literally
God.
like the equivalent of a WWE or WWF like intro thing when they're interviewing them and they're talking about what they're going to do to the other wrestler. And
I got issues with the state of Delaware.
oh my gosh, this dude already.
Okay, enough of that.
Yeah, he seems like a classy man from Delaware. You know what? Unless you're smelling what the Rock's cooking, you probably shouldn't be doing wrestling. You know what I realized, like recently, like Mexican wrestling. First off, I just want to put this on the table. 90% of them use Rammstein entrances to walk into the ring, which is the most incredible thing. I was ripping off my shirt like, yes! Like every intro of the wrestler. So first off, Mexico, you're killing it. Second off, their wrestling makes our wrestling looks like a whole bunch of 2-year-olds in a ring that have no idea what they're doing. Their stuff is flawless. The whole like mythic stuff of like behind the mask and they never take off their mask. And there was some people that I know like some famous Mexican wrestlers that, like never took off their mask when they were in public. Like they were always seen with it on. So it's kind of like a really cool kind of mythic stuff down there with when it comes to like wrestling that we don't really have, where here it's just like, I'm gonna put on a Speedo and we're gonna talk about what I'm making for dinner. And it's everything comes back to watching Man Manager Savage. That's the only voice I can do.
Yeah, that's a great
What
voice.
was what was his name? Ric Flair. Woo!
Yeah. Hey, looking back.
Woo! All right, Ethan, take us over to the next story here.
Cops call him Social Security. His forehead tattoo explains why. Says it doesn't take much sleuthing to identify this suspect after he commits a crime, according to police in Houston, Texas. That's because Robert Charles Wooten, 40, has what a December 2017 police report describes as a distinctive tattoos on his face. And distinctive is a polite way to describe it. After all, what could be more distinct than a person's one-of-a-kind Social Security number? They're calling this guy Social Security because he actually has his Social Security number tattooed across his forehead. Yes. Houston police investigator Frank Heenan told KPRC. Most recently, that self-identifying tattoo inked on his face placed Wooten at the scene of a string of at least 3 armed robberies in Houston late last year, according to Harris County court filings. During one of those robberies in October, Wooten went up to the cashier at the Valero Corner store in Houston and asked him several questions about the store, the criminal complaint said. Then Wooten asked the cashier, "You care about your life?"
I wouldn't say that.
Oh, crap. The next thing the cashier knew, Wooten was lifting up his shirt to reveal a gun.
Sir, put your nipples away. Sir,
He just
look at my
lifted up-
nipples.
He just lifted up his shirt, and then that was all. That was it.
You
Says,
care about your life?
He
Look at
revealed
these
a
titties.
gun tucked into his waistband, according to the criminal complaint. The clerk was scared for his life because he lived in Texas and had never seen a gun before.
Okay.
Just
Bullcrap.
joking.
The phone.
Okay, was that...
That would no. I put that in there.
Okay, I was about to say, like, bullcrap. Bullcrap. Whenever you emptied your frosted flakes, your box frosted flakes, what was at the bottom of the box was a gun. So don't lie to me, you Texas people. Everybody got guns.
It says the clerk was scared for his life. Soon, Wooten began demanding different brands of cigarettes, which the clerk handed over. A man believed to be Wooten came back to the store in November and stole more cigarettes, the clerk told the Houston police. Officers showed the victim a picture of Wooten, and the clerk identified him as the perpetrator. The criminal complaint said the distinctive tattoos, quote-unquote, in Wooten's mugshots were the reason he was so identifiable to his victim. Wooten is no stranger to law enforcement, if Harris County court records are any indication. In July 2017, Wooten was caught exposing his genitals to someone against their will and was charged with indecent exposure.
Look at them.
Wooten pleaded guilty. Says beyond that incident, Wooten has been charged with everything from theft to trespassing to violating protective orders to drug crimes, according to Harris County court records. He's notorious, Heenan told KPRC, particularly in a handful of Houston neighborhoods. Wooten is also a suspect in several recent armed robberies at a local pawn shop, Walgreens, Family Dollar, and more. This guy looks like, if you put a pair of sunglasses on him, he'd look like Tech-9, the rapper. That's pretty much, but
Yeah, well, with his Social Security number tattooed on his forehead.
I don't think Tech-9 has that on there.
I don't know, how stupid could you be to have a Social Security number? And it bothers me because I've had my credit card and my debit card account has been like hacked and people like made purchases. It's like you're going after me when you actually have to do work, and there's idiots like this with their Social Security number tattooed on their forehead, and you had to come. There was extra work. This guy's literally putting it out on the table for you to steal, and you had to go after me. Go for the easy dude. Like, leave me alone.
Hey, look, I love your eyes. Hold on, let me get a picture.
Yeah, you look real great. I see you're showing me your penis. That's nice. Can I take a picture of your face? I just need it for research purposes. I've never actually been to, I think, anywhere else other than Six Flags in Texas. We were in and out. Rode a few roller coasters because we thrill seekers.
My parents went to, I think, Austin on vacation. I think my dad loved it.
On vacation?
Yeah.
Don't question it. Just go.
Yes.
He went there on business and was like, this place is actually kind of cool. And then they just went back. There you go. There you have it.
That's a great
And there
time.
you have the entire Ruckle lineage summed up in one story.
Good times.
My name's Ethan Ruckle, and I like peanut butter. And I like reading the dictionary.
But mostly, I love peanut butter.
But mostly, I like peanut butter. Oh my gosh. You guys are the best. Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and go over our first beer. This one is from Carlsberg Brewery, and this one is called Elephant. And this one is from where, Ethan?
Denmark.
Denmark.
Copenhagen.
It's close to Florida, isn't it?
Yeah, it's might as well be attached at this point.
It's as close as Alaska is.
It's as close to Alaska.
A little bit about the beer, I guess.
Please.
It is a Bach beer, 7.2%. So it's a little bit stronger than our average. It says the Carlsberg Elephant is a so-called Bach beer produced for the first time in 1959. The ample use of malt gives Carlsberg Elephant a vinous, yeah, and rich character with apple, melon, banana, and caramel flavors, balanced with a dry bitterness and hints of oak, bark, nuts, and pine needles. The colors, the colors are a pale gold and white foam. The elephants on the beer's label are inspired by the two pair life-size elephant statues, which form part of the main entrance to the Carlsberg Group's headquarters in Copenhagen.
Would that be elephant nuts?
Yeah. Food pairings. Enjoy this beer together with spicy dishes and heavy foods such as yellow peas, roasted duck, and fried eel. Good thing we can get. That's just. We
So
have so
easy.
much of all of those things.
Yeah, that.
Just go down to
Everywhere.
Burger King, ask for number 12.
Can I have your fried
Fried
eel,
eel,
please?
please.
And a side of those,
Onion rings.
Crap. What are they? The
Chicken fries.
Flaming hot Cheetos.
yes, those. Macaroni.
The mac and
cheese.
cheese.
yeah.
Cheetos.
Cheetos.
Nuggets, whatever they are. Yeah.
Cancer.
Yummy.
It's strictly
Cancer.
cancer.
So, German style box are all malt brews and are high in malt sweetness. Malt character should be a balance of sweetness and toasted or nut-like malt. Bach translate as goat.
Yeah, it's you can definitely taste that sweetness in there. Like that is the first thing that hits you is like that sweetness. And it is
Yeah, all the flavors that were introduced in there.
I'm gonna have to quote Jason on that. Is some piss water.
Oh,
really.
really?
I actually
Yeah.
don't mind that. It's actually pretty good. Here, you guys try it. Before we start drinking it all, I've tried it because you get this weird fruity note. I can't actually put on what it is that's in there.
Smells like a bologna sandwich.
Bologna
It
sandwich.
does.
Maybe that's why I feel
It
at
really
home.
does.
Can I have a glass of milk with this? This is a bologna sandwich.
So
It's
the
not that
col-
it's like, oh my god, that's disgusting. It's just you drink it and it's just like that's not very good.
so it's the color in between like straw and light brown.
Smell that.
The
Like a
Smells
bologna
like
sandwich.
I think.
oh my
Tim's-
gosh, that's no joke.
Is it?
Wow, it smells like bologna.
I forgot what bologna smells
does.
like. Apparently,
It tastes. The aftertaste is bologna as well. Now that you say that,
Oh gosh.
I think it's the
Oh
I
wow.
actually don't think it's bad.
All right.
It's
well,
not
it smells
terrible, it's
worse
just not that
than it
good.
tastes. So it is. It is. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the taste. I think what that is, that bologna, is probably the apple.
Is there apple
Like
in there?
Yeah, he mentioned there's apple in there. So you know, like you ever had a Gala
nuts.
apple,
Yeah.
and it's got some of that. It's
that's
not
how
super
they
sweet.
make bologna. It's apple slices.
That's right. But it's not very bitter. Like I said, it's between 6.3 and 7.5%. You can have it with like a steak, aged Swiss cheese, or chocolate. You serve it in a tulip glass for about 45 to 50 degrees. So a little bit on the cooler side. Hop flavor is low, which is why it's pretty smooth, no aftertaste. As far as a strong bitterness, it's medium. The hop bitterness is medium. Has high malt character with aromas of toasted or nut-like malt, but not caramel. But I think you said this had some caramel malts in it.
Yep. Well, it says I don't know if it's caramel malts. It says the ample use of malt gives Carlsberg Elephant a rich character with apple, melon, banana, caramel flavors.
Oh, okay.
Balanced with dry.
Okay, I'm
bitterness.
sorry.
So I don't think it's caramel malts.
Not caramel malts, but a taste.
They didn't
of caramel.
give the exact.
I mean, it's you
Malts
guys. I mean,
used in
you
it.
drinking it though. I mean, it does kind of have like
It's not terrible.
It's not terrible. I mean, it's definitely better. It kind of tastes like what you would imagine like a European Bud Light. You know, it is kind of like the light beer. The
And
light
what
beer
shocks me
business.
is it's 7.2%.
Yeah,
Which is kind of
but
odd.
I think that's strictly once again that goes on the taste. You kind of get that citrus hint at the beginning,
A little bit, yeah.
and then I think But it doesn't have the bitterness. There's no bitterness aftertaste. There's no bitterness at all, really.
No, I taste apple though, and it's like I don't know if it's the taste of. It says it's all malt, but you have to have yeast, of course, and I don't know if it's the taste of the hops with the apple. It's just not. They're not.
It's not the.
It's not mixing well together.
I think honestly, if you guys had like a steak right now and you're drinking this, I think it would probably be totally different.
Basically, every beer that I'm reading, every style can be paired with a cheese. So maybe beforehand, one of us can pick up some cheese to taste to see if it changes the flavor, see if it
That
makes
would be
it
really
better.
interesting, actually. Just give me a heads up. I got a Kroger
Oh,
literally
okay.
like a stone's throw away from where I live. So
Next to
if you
Taco
guys-
Bell over there.
Yeah, right next to it. So right next to Rural King, Taco Bell, the Gun Range, Kroger.
This is good.
They don't have very
one
good
of those.
cheese over there at the gun range.
I don't know. Let me tell you though, any
But you
kind
can
of
make
like
Swiss cheese.
the support at my house can't support my weight, so I haven't been able to hang myself yet. I've been trying, but it just all the pipes keep breaking.
Keep trying.
I'm trying. I really am.
Not a
Unfortunately,
slacker.
my bed's the only thing the frame's really strong enough, but it's too low to the ground. I just can't get it right. Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and get to our next news story. This one is from the boltonnews.co.uk. The headline reads, Grandfather's testicle explodes after contracting rare form of salmonella on Tanzanian holiday.
How are those things connected at all?
We're gonna
Salmon
find.
will do
We're
that
gonna
too.
we're gonna find out. A grandfather whose testicle expanded to the size of a grapefruit after contracting a rare form of salmonella has told of how his life has changed forever. I'll leave his name out of this because it's kind of a rough subject, so I feel bad for the guy. Was on holiday in Tunisia with his wife Joanne when he caught African salmonella, the potentially deadly strain of the disease,
big
and had to spend several days in the hospital. After returning to the UK, the 59-year-old was so ill he wasn't able to keep any food down for weeks and lost 3 stones, which apparently is a weight measurement over in the UK that I don't know. But matters got even worse when he started developing an excruciating pain in his genitals, and his testicles started to expand. He was admitted to the hospital but allowed to go home, where his testicle exploded like a volcano.
It's an interesting word
Wait.
to describe.
Okay,
Volcano.
I've seen videos of Mount St. Helen exploding, so
1 stone. 1 stone is 14 pounds. So what was it that he said?
3 stone.
Was-
So
How heavy is?
no, that's how much he had lost.
Oh, gotcha.
So that's crazy, man. That's 42 pounds.
That's the weight he lost.
Yeah, that's a weight he lost. That is incredible. Mr.
Volcano.
who works as a security guard at Bolton Town Hall, said, I woke up about 5 a.m. with the most excruciating pain in my left testicle. I could barely move, and I was in tears from the agony. I said to Joanne, I am really unwell, and she called the doctor, who advised me to go into the hospital immediately. I was in there for 10 days, and the pressure continued to grow. It got so big that I needed to carry it around in my hands. It was the size of a grapefruit. I can't even begin to explain the pain that I was in, and my temperature was off the scale. He continued to vomit and have diarrhea, but the doctors sent him. Okay, doctor sent him home after 10 days. That is insane.
Where was this
Okay,
hospital in Tunisia?
it's in the UK.
Okay.
But Mr. Worsley received more bad news when he returned from an ultrasound scan and was told that it had grown even bigger. The doctor told me that she had never seen anything like it in her 20-year career, he said. Despite this, I was sent home again. I got in the bath and it just exploded. It literally went bang, and that was it.
Ooh,
Can we just have a moment of silence
wow.
for our friend here in the UK, man? I hope you're doing okay. I hope that you've recovered from this. I hope
Hope you have
you
one
got
left.
some kind of monetary reimbursement from this, because this is a ball dropped.
You stole my line.
You were like so much sympathy for him, and then you were like, "Oh, here comes
Somebody dropped a ball, and not you, sir. You
His
did
exploded.
nothing wrong. Yours
So
exploded.
from the explosion, was there shrapnel damage to the other ball?
No, I don't think so. I
Okay,
think he
yes,
said when the doctor saw it later, it said that it exploded like a
Chunks stuck in the
volcano.
wall.
It was leaking so much that I had to get one of my grandchildren's nappies and put it around to stop the flow.
So there was burning lava.
Oh my gosh! I bet
Hey,
it
you
sure.
got small
I bet
hands,
it
right?
felt like it. You got small hands, right? Can you just reach on up in there and stop my ball from exploding?
Take your diaper, shove it up.
There was no embarrassment at that point. I just wanted the pain to go away. When it happened, it felt like a weight had literally been lifted from me, and I suppose it had. It was almost a relief when it had happened. The grandfather of two said his life would never be the same after this ordeal. He said, "This has definitely affected me psychologically, and I felt down for a long time. It may sound silly, but I don't feel complete, even though the doctors say you can manage without them." He says that after recovering, he went into the nearest branch of Thompson Holidays, but he was told there was nothing that they could do. He said, "Another effect is that we didn't go on holiday abroad for 3 years when it had happened, and we were terrified it was going to happen again."
Well, that's a poor way to bust a nut.
Speaking of busting nuts, tell us what you got, Jared.
I got the next story here. Man burns home down trying to kill spider with blowtorch. One man in Redding, California, took this to the extreme, using a blowtorch to try to exterminate a pesky spider in his apartment. Unfortunately, he burned down his home while trying to get rid of the tiny pest. It was a huge wolf spider, said Lindsay Weisgarver.
Which means it was probably the size of their thumbnail.
The spider was fairly large, but when trying to kill it with a flame, it caught the mattress on fire, which quickly spread to nearby curtains. The fire spread to a closet, which then began to engulf the apartment. Firefighters were able to prevent the fire from spreading to other units. No one was injured in the fire, but it did cause about $11,000 in damage.
So did the spider survive or not?
You know, it didn't say, so he might have got out of this one.
It's essentially like the 2017 version or 2018 version of Mousetrap. You remember that movie?
Oh my gosh, yes.
It just,
What
honestly, if you want to kill a spider,
was
just,
that movie about again?
it was the two dudes that move into a mansion.
Oh, it's
and there's
Mouse-
the mouse.
Mouse
there.
Hunt.
Mouse
Mouse
Hunt.
Hunt,
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
yeah,
I
no,
was
I
thinking
remember
Mousetrap. Yeah.
I just
Funny
remember
movie.
the awesome man, I'm brain for it. And the cameo of Christopher Walken.
Oh yeah, when he does the raisins.
So I watched
and
that
eats
that
it.
movie again. It's probably been a year or so
Eating the
ago,
mouse
but I
poop
hadn't
and-
seen
Yeah,
it
eating the
for
mouse
so
poop.
long, and I was like, "Holy crap, that's Christopher Walken!"
I just don't understand. Like, if you want to kill a spider, going back to your story, just get your hand, get a shit. I mean,
Fly
I
swatter.
mean, you do realize
Newspaper.
you are an unstoppable god to a spider. Like, there is nothing that spider can do. He can turn around and like wrestle all he wants. There's nothing you could do. You're just gonna kill him. So don't bust out the flamethrower. Just get a flip flop or just eat them. Protein. Just eat them. Tasty 8-legged Kit Kats. Anyways, take us away, Ethan. What's your next? Oh no, Tim. Tim, take us away.
All right, it's a very unusual story. French fitness model killed by exploding whipped cream can.
Green can.
Yeah, go figure.
Wow.
French fitness blogger Rebecca Berger died after a whipped cream can exploded into her chest, according to her family.
Into her chest?
Yep.
Dang.
Wow.
So I wanna
Her family says the pressurized canister blew up, hit her chest, and triggered a heart attack. There's the answer.
Was she doing something with the Was she doing whippets or something?
I have to be honest with you, at the beginning of this interview when we did whippets, and my brain's totally gone right now.
I mean, was she just doing a video and she had the whipped cream out and just blew
Well,
up?
you know, it doesn't say anything like that. It says that she is a popular on Instagram, so maybe she was. I don't know if it happened. It happened. It said it happened last weekend, so this was dated.
Actually, yeah, I was about to say this is a while ago. I remember seeing this
this
story.
is 6/22. So yeah, this is back in June. It goes on to say the family posted a pic of a whipped cream canister with a warning about using similar products. They claim thousands of defective ones are still in circulation.
We're fragile. Ethan, you want me to punch you in the chest for the rest of the evening? Or you can punch me.
Go ahead.
Take me away from this mortal coil, please. I need sweet release. I've been watching nothing but like kids cartoons for like the past week.
I'll go get my gun.
We'll settle this
That
real
seems
quick.
a little less like clean. If you just hit me at the right time, I'll just die and you don't have to clean anything up.
It's not as much pleasure on my part, Jason.
Wow. It's the finger, like the. I don't know you. You wouldn't just shoot me once and leave me for dead. You would shoot me like 12 times. And we'd have to have a discussion.
Empty
It's
the
like-
clip.
Yeah, I know. Essentially,
Click, 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 click. Oh, I guess it's done.
I'll just beat him with the butt of my gun for a couple minutes.
Until his face is reduced to hamburger meat.
Yeah. So, Ethan, go ahead. Take us away to the next story. I've been really excited to hear about this one. No, wait. No, was it Tit?
I've already done that.
Okay, you. Oh
was
my
a short
gosh,
story.
I'm so sorry. My
Detergent pod challenge becoming dangerous teen trend. I'm sure everybody's probably heard about this one at this point. Charlotte, North Carolina. A bizarre new internet trend has teens recording themselves eating Tide laundry detergent pods.
Oh my God.
It's
Wonderful.
called the Tide Pod Challenge. Videos of it started emerging this week. The videos are supposedly made to be funny, a satirical response to national commercialized warnings against ingesting Tide Pods, which are jokingly referred to as the forbidden fruit. They don't always have the comprehension at 13, 14, or 15 years old of lifelong consequences.
No, you do.
Said Dr. Karen Jenkins,
You will.
medical director of the Piedmont Medical Center Emergency Department. It's toxic soap chemicals that these teenage children are putting into their mouths. These are people who are going out and actively going to look for them to ingest them. I cannot believe that people are doing this. Dr. Jenkins said even if the teens don't swallow the pods, the concentrated chemicals can cause serious and in some cases permanent damage. They can cause chemical burns around the mouth and cause burns inside the mouth, nausea, vomiting. You can get aspiration, pneumonia, and have breathing problems, she explained. It's not a risk worth taking.
They're just
So what they're saying is, eat them all. Just eat 'em.
Yeah, just go get some
Grab
Tide
some.
Pods. Like, I honestly thought this was a joke. Like, I saw people showing, like, pictures of people, you know, that thing where people send Gordon Ramsay gifts or images of their food and be like, what do you think of my food? And
He's like,
somebody's,
it's complete bleep.
yeah, and of course Gordon Ramsay does what Gordon Ramsay does. And
Yells obscenities.
somebody sent him a picture of a Tide Pod, and it was like a meme, and someone was like, you know, what do you think of my dinner? And it was a Tide Pod, and he was like, perfection. You know, and I chuckled at it, but no joke. I was on Facebook yesterday. There was a compilation video of people. It was like 15 minutes worth of just different people eating laundry detergent pods, and one of them, no joke, was the guy taking a laundry detergent pod, pouring laundry detergent on it, and then eating it.
It's his chaser.
My parents think I'm a failure just because I pursued music. Like, and there's people out there eating Tide Pods. Man, just be happy I didn't go out there and eat Tide Pods.
Yeah, be happy about that.
Be happy about that. I'm at least smart enough for that. They're that stupid. Have you ever eaten a Tide Pod, Ethan?
Not that I know of.
Maybe someone slipped it here.
Something in my drink or something. You
This
know,
sandwich tastes like laundry detergent. My clothes feel clean. My mouth feels like I ate acid. Subway's getting worse and worse every day, man. I'm telling you. So we're going to go ahead and get to our next beer here. Ethan, what is the next beer that we're trying?
is the Maduro Brown Ale made by Cigar City Brewing.
Cigar City Brewery.
Cigar City Brewing. It says that the Maduro is a northern English-style brown ale with some American affectations. Maduro is higher in alcohol than the common English brown ale and features flaked oats in the malt bill, which imparts a silky body and works to mesh the roasted, toasted, and chocolate components together in Maduro's complex malt profile. The end result is a remarkably full-flavored yet approachable brown ale that pairs well with mild to medium cigars. Thank God you told me. 5.5% alcohol. Aromas reminiscent of toffee and chocolate macaroons. Belly the low alcohol content and moderate body of this well-rounded English-style brown ale. Semi-sweet chocolate, almond, and brown sugar flavors fill the palate, but quickly dissipate into a dry, clean finish, giggity, with notes of coffee grounds. They've won 3 awards since 2010. Best Florida Beer Championship gold medal. In 2011, they had the United States Open Beer Championship gold medal. And 2017, United States Open Beer Championship silver medal. So people like it, apparently.
Jason, what do you smell?
Actually, I don't really smell much on this. I get a little bit of maybe the espresso side of it, but I don't. When I drink it, I taste more. I definitely get the toffee and chocolate in there. Actually, I smell more coffee in it, like espresso. I don't taste it. It's actually pretty good. It says that it's a great food beer. Maduro pairs equally well with sweet chocolate-based desserts, as well with any kind of roasted meat.
I'm getting the coffee in it. personally.
You do taste. You
the-
taste. I
Yeah,
get the after.
that's about all
I
I'm
think
getting.
I think it ends like for me. It ends on the coffee. Now that I'm getting like the aftertaste, I'm getting coffee on there. But
So how is the
not
bitterness, the hop bitterness?
bad.
is great. Like there is almost zero hop bitterness in there. I mean it. If there is, it is blended so well with the other flavors that I don't notice it.
Would you describe it as mild? Something that is
Yeah,
easy
yeah.
to drink?
Yeah. Oh, very, very, very.
Us. I mean, and it's funny that we both were saying that we get that coffee flavor because they actually under their tasting notes that I read a few minutes ago it said that it ends on that coffee grounds with notes of coffee grounds.
But not bitter. No, I don't get any bitterness at the end.
Yeah, it's definitely very, very mild beer. It's doesn't have any of that, crazy like kick you in the face aftertaste. It's a very, I'd say that's a great like wintertime beer. Just kind of, hang out at home, sit and drink a nice dessert. I'd say dessert beer. That's probably the best way to describe
Yeah,
that.
it's a good coffee.
Good like coffee chocolate and toffee beer.
Well, you said that it was a English style brown ale.
Right.
It even narrows it down if it's a Northern English or Southern English. So it's not necessarily sweet, but like we said, it's very smooth, and it's not super bitter. But it would be more maltiness, so more earth tones. I think that at least that's what I taste is more of chocolate and nutty. So it's Southern English, which is cool how it kind of narrows it down. I didn't know there was even within just English style that you can even narrow it down further.
Did you taste anything like that when you were over in London area, or?
Not that I can specifically remember. I'm sure I had it. It was a little bit lighter than this. It's a little bit darker color. But it said in the information that it has a mixture of kind of the American brown ale style. It is because it is a little bit darker than your typical English style brown ale. And so I think I'm reading here, some of the differences between American and English is the American brown ale is basically they were just inspired by the English style, and so basically it's just a combination of the best parts over there in England, and then they just kind of add more of caramel and chocolate like character to it, so it does make it a little bit darker, and it's a bit, I don't want to say the word stronger, but
I mean,
I think it's more earthy.
yeah,
It's stronger than our last one we had.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it was.
But like I said, it definitely
Color difference is dramatic.
Yeah, the color difference is dramatic. I'd still say this is probably much smoother than the other one. If you don't like coffee, this is a great option for you. Yeah, you guys, man, you picked out some fantastic
They were
beers
pretty
you
good.
did a
buddy.
good job.
from when you were down your trip. So this is, man, I've been like super surprised. Usually you guys try to hurt me physically with your beer choices.
Well, we
which
purposely try to stay in the IPAs.
I'm assuming that
Other than seasons,
our next episode we're going to record is about time for our next blind taste test.
Oh, I totally forgot. Yeah, you're right.
So and I think we should, I don't know, maybe bring back our drinking game because it's been, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 episodes since we've done our drinking game.
Yeah, it's been a while.
This will be 3, I think.
Yeah, we were worried about Jared's health, so we completely stopped doing it because I was pretty scared that he was going to die. A few episodes into doing the drinking game, he was having some issues.
It was rough.
My whole face is numb. Like, I can't feel any of my face. Anyways, thank you guys for listening to another episode of Laughs and Drafts. We thank you guys so much for joining in and, just listening to us talk. And, man, I'm so disappointed in everything that we said today. And I apologize way in advance. But as always, you can find us on iTunes. Please feel free to go on there, subscribe, leave a comment. The first 100 people to leave a rating on our page there will get a free sticker from us as a way of saying thank you guys so much for helping us out and helping us get our name out there. So we really appreciate you guys and all the support that you give us.
Follow us on Facebook as well at Laughs and Drafts.
You can also find us on Twitter at Laughs Drafts.
And you can find us on patreon.com/laughsanddrafts, where you are more than welcome to donate, because any and all donations will just help further the show and help keep us going and teach us how to read.
Yeah, and there's some sweet rewards on there for you guys. Anything from us, just getting a cool card from us, all the way to being on air with us, reading your favorite strange news story for the week. And we'd love to hear from you guys and have you guys be involved. And we thank you guys so much for all the support you give us, even if it's just listening and creeping from the shadows. We really appreciate it, and we love all you guys out there. So once again, as always, I am your resident fancy boy, Jason Thomas.
I'm your learning man, Jared Landis.
And this is Tim, the old man.
This is Ethan, the guy with the spectacles still.
You never gonna
all
stick with
alternate.
it. My face is so numb right now. Since we pulled this double, and I have basically. Did any of you guys drink this?
No.
So
half
it was all me,
all you.
and so I drank that.
I drank one shot. It was
Okay,
terrible.
so I mean, it wasn't
helped.
all me.
Can't take all the credit, Jason.
Well, I did one shot of this cane run as well. And
I did too. That was terrible. That was rough.
it tastes good, but it like blow my socks off. Yeah, man, I don't think I can handle that. Man, my face.